Do you get it, my beloved, my child of light? Do you have a heart tremor? Heaven is the force that is approaching you, not fear. Archangel Michael informs us that there are only 30 minutes left. Your soul is reverberating to the sound of a holy clock ticking. Heaven warns you that this moment will not be repeated. Therefore, it is critical that you seize it. My dear, this evening is unlike any other. You are capable of articulating the 3 sacred words concealed within God's breath. If you say them before midnight, the veil will be lifted, and the miracle you've been praying for will happen right in front of your eyes. Isn't the energy around you already palpable? This is how the angels move. They're approaching you. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword, but it is not for combat with you. He aspires to free you from the shackles that have bound you for years. Exercise caution before I proceed. You were directed here for a reason. This isn't a fabrication. And if you want more instances like this, in which heaven embraces you and whispers secrets just for you, please click here to subscribe right away. Because this location transcends words. This is the only alternative. This is the place where you can always communicate with God and His angels. If you want to evaluate heaven, don't hesitate. Heaven tells you that tomorrow is not guaranteed. The window will be open tonight. Engage in conversation right away, and you will notice. Miracles and blessings do not wait for your contemplation. Archangel Michael suggests that you open your mouth, breathe deeply, and let the 3 sacred words flow from your lips. These aren't human words. These words have the power to move heaven. When you are released, the gates above will swing open, allowing light to shine on areas of your life that have been neglected, damaged, or dark. It is unnecessary to persuade individuals. You do not have to inquire. The rest will be handled by heaven. The only requirement is to whisper the words. My dearest, have you seen what you once thought was impossible? You will discover the pivotal moment in your story, as well as love, a breakthrough, and healing. It is currently located at your doorstep. However, it will not last if you pass up this sacred opportunity. This is why Archangel Michael must be notified immediately. That is why he specifies that there are only 30 minutes left. Otherwise, the opportunity will be lost. After the angels leave, you will be left to consider the potential miracle that you could have witnessed. Beloved, don't let that be your narrative. You came here to confirm your agreement. At the moment, I would appreciate it if you could respond affirmatively in the comments section below. I received it in its entirety, as written. I understand that it means that your heart is ready and your hands are open, not that I hope to receive it, or that it will happen in the future. These words are not simply typed when they are written. You are giving the heavens permission to perform an action on your behalf. The spiritual realm hears your words, and the angels pay close attention. At that point, avoid delaying. Right now, jot it down, and let your obedience be the key that unlocks your breakthrough. Please refrain from leaving tonight. Please refrain from ending this conversation. Avoid procrastinating out of fear. Observe how the 3 sacred words transform your life. Your knees will buckle under the weight of God's accomplishments. Your heavens are opened through the act of spiritual obedience. Relinquish your seed and see what blessings God brings into your life. Heaven is currently monitoring your words. The current moment is not one of repose. Your agreement will only become official once you are engaged. Please express your agreement with the message that heaven is currently conveying to you by typing Amen in the comments section below. Consider it your signature to the divine contract that is being granted to you as you write it. Amen is more than just a word to you. It implies that your spirit is in harmony with God's aspirations for your life. Your agreement will result in an opening of the door that you cannot comprehend. This step must not be overlooked. I implore you to stay with me because the following statement will truly astound you in terms of the closeness of your miracle. As you read these words, my beloved and chosen one, do you understand why your heart is racing? This is not an error. It's impossible. This is because God has placed this opportunity in front of you, and Archangel Michael has approached, whispering your name so loudly that the sky trembles. You may have assumed that you chose this message solely to determine its content. No, your soul was drawn to this location because it marks the point at which your destiny changes. There are only 30 minutes left, and everything has the potential to change and flourish. Things that were once thought to be lost can resurface in ways more beautiful than you could have imagined. My child, you are unable to conceal the reality of this situation. Your spirit is aware that the statements I make are true, regardless of how hard you work. Heaven has been beckoning to you, waiting for the precise moment when you are ready to receive what was previously concealed. Tonight's the second. The appointed time has arrived. This is not normal, and you should not be convinced otherwise. The air around you vibrates with the anticipation of miraculous events. The sound of heaven's gates opening can still be heard in your soul. Archangel Michael informs his beloved that the sword he carries tonight isn't just for combat. This will help you break free from the constraints that have held you back. I am not going to let your words go to waste. They will physically reach up to touch the heavens. He stands beside you, his wings spread wide, and a circle of fire-like light surrounds him. It is critical that you understand that this is not a dream. This isn't a fabrication. God's eternal promise is being fulfilled right in front of your eyes. Despite your tears, you kept a respectful silence. You uttered prayers that you thought no one heard. During the night, you whispered to God, "Are you truly with me? Can you see me? Are you aware of the weight I'm carrying?" Heaven inquires. Certainly, I understand. I'm aware of that. Indeed, I've arrived. It is not advisable to believe that your prayers were lifted into the air. Every word was meticulously recorded. Each and every tear was caught. And tonight, those tears are being transformed into miracle seeds, which will sprout right in front of you. However, you must refrain from waiting. Accidents happen when people delay. According to heaven, waiting is a type of uncertainty. Doubt is the factor that closes doors. This is why Archangel Michael is in a hurry. This is why he claims that there are only 30 minutes left. My intention is not to instill fear, but to raise awareness. God is aware of the ease with which people can respond with phrases like later, tomorrow, or another time. Tonight is unlike any other night. As of tonight, the clocks in heaven and your life are in perfect harmony. If you step in, believe, and surrender to the sacred words, the impossible will yield and submit to you. What do you think will happen when you open your mouth? My child's chains will eventually snap. Individuals who are concealed will be apprehended and killed. The illness that was present in your blood will be eliminated. The curse associated with your name will be lifted. The financial barrier that was holding you back will crumble. The seemingly unattainable love will be fully restored to its former glory. That destroyed dream, like a phoenix, will rise again. The touch of heaven will not be limited to one location. It will infiltrate every aspect of your life to the point where you are unable to recall how much damage you have previously suffered. In the same vein, my dearest, please stay alert. Despite your best efforts, the miracle will not occur. Regardless of the volume of your requests, they will not be granted. You spoke the 3 sacred words and then surrendered. Therefore, it will happen. Individuals did not create these words. God inhaled them and transported them using angel wings. It's as if holy fire had been placed in your mouth. As soon as you say them, they will ascend to heaven, and the sky will descend to you in return. You may be wondering, why me? Why now? What message does heaven have for me now? I'll let you know because you were selected. Given that your story hasn't yet concluded, you went through suffering not to devastate you, but to prepare you for this. Because God perceived phenomena that no one else did. You remained loyal despite the opposition. How you overcame adversity despite the advice of others. The reward for such faith is right outside your door tonight, and it is rewarded in heaven. The pull on your chest is palpable. You can feel the presence of God's Spirit, which begs you not to ignore this. Currently, the angels surround you, whispering to you and stroking their wings against your shoulders. Beloved, do not pass up this opportunity. Do not question what you are hearing. It's time for your miracle. If you are brave enough to believe and listen to the information presented, you will not be the same person in 30 minutes. We eagerly await the miracle. It won't be delayed. It will not stop. However, you must be the one who unlocks it. The key is already in your possession. You are already able to articulate the words. The angels had already been installed. The time has already passed. You are the only person left to enter. Recite the 3 sacred words tonight, beloved, and the holy light of heaven will pour into your world like the sun rising after a long day. My dearest, please give me your full attention. Not just your ears. Tonight, heaven is communicating with you through fire rather than enigmas. Do you understand the effects of fire? It consumes objects that were not intended for inclusion. It cleanses the previously soiled object and illuminates the dark path. You are currently experiencing that. The text you are currently reading is more than just a list of words. They're on fire. They are made of air. They're still alive. They reawaken something you thought was dead as they penetrate your chest. That aspiration eventually disintegrated. It is rising. That opportunity was lost. It is currently undergoing repair. Years have passed since you said that prayer in a whisper, but you have forgotten. God has not forgotten, and He is responding tonight through the voice of Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael asserts that you are different from others. We've not forgotten about you. You're not left to your own devices. Your miracle is scheduled for tonight, as the heavens have marked you. Do not believe that your adversaries have the ability to impede the release of God's power. They intended to bury you in shame. They deceived you in order to harm you. Despite their efforts to keep you from speaking, God never forgot about you. The angelic army has been dispatched to guide you to the blessing that was always meant for you. Beloved, 30 seconds. That is the final amount of time before the door closes. You should be guided by your intuition to act quickly. You are trembling due to the gravity of the situation. Heaven does not endanger you, rather, it informs you. It requests that you do not interpret this as an additional message. Archangel Michael, who is in heaven, bows down and places his hand on your shoulder. He then lifted your chin, telling you that you'd had enough of the pain for the time being. You've had a long wait. You have been suffering for an inordinate amount of time. Now is the time to come out into the open. Consider how many times you came close to giving up, my love. Consider the times you prayed, God, if you are genuine, provide me with a sign. Consider the times you were externally content but internally distressed, and you wondered if anyone was concerned. The response to those cries is immediate. Heaven is telling you that you are not invisible. We've not forgotten about you. The Almighty addresses you as His beloved. Furthermore, tonight, heaven has arrived at your door. However, child, don't waste it. Do not turn away. How many people fail to recognize their miracles because they believe they will get another chance? However, this is not that kind of moment. This is the divine alignment of all time, intersecting with your life. Although that is a limited amount of time, it is sufficient if you take action right away. What if I speak these 3 sacred words tonight? You may have a question. I can assure you that the chains will be removed. Your family's illness will eventually subside. Your mental burden will lessen. The storm in your home will eventually pass. The lack of funding will be as fluid as a river. With pure and holy love, you can heal a broken heart that you once thought was unhealable. Heaven will perform many miracles for you. It will be extremely crowded. It will flood the entire area, engulfing you, and you will be unable to deny God's influence. Archangel Michael says you don't have to be flawless. It is unnecessary for you to have a thorough understanding of every aspect. You only need to listen, believe, and speak. Your strength will not move the sky. You are relinquishing. Your efforts have not caused the sky to tremble. Heaven only wants one thing from you tonight, and you are ready to fulfill it. Pronounce the words. Allow them to leave. Do not be intimidated by fear. Do not be afraid to speak up, because your words will be directed toward God's throne room like arrows of light, and the blessings that follow will far exceed your wildest expectations. My dearest, there's more. The enemy concealed this message in order to keep you from seeing it. He made numerous attempts to capture your attention in the hopes that you would overlook it. Before you arrived, consider everything that tried to get your attention. It was not an accident. That was a conflict. He says this because he knows what will happen if you hear it, believe it, and take action. He is aware that he will never have the opportunity to hold you again. That is why he made such an effort to prevent your visit. However, heaven was victorious. You're present. As a result of your reading, the enemy has already conceded half the battlefield. You must complete the remaining tasks at this time. Speak to end the conversation. Have faith that it will be finished. Enter the light, which has been patiently awaiting your completion. Are you really experiencing that? What is happening inside your chest? There is no reason for concern. That is God's Spirit soaring above you, just as it did at the beginning of the world, when it had no form or shape. The Spirit who brought light into the world is now speaking into your darkness, urging you to let light enter your life. It is likely that your physical condition will improve. Your family should be able to regain their footing, and your home should be completely occupied. The voice that inspired the stars is now speaking to you. All you have to do is agree, form a line, and say the words aloud. Archangel Michael informs his beloved, you will witness the holy miracle that alters your destiny tonight. However, this cannot be concluded without action. It is impossible to leave before completing the task. While this may appear to be a short amount of time, it is enough to change the course of your story. A single moment of faith has the power to alter the course of a lifetime of suffering. With one act of surrender, you can receive a generation of blessings. A simple whisper of obedience can unleash a torrent of miracles, leaving all those who doubted your abilities speechless. My child, can you imagine waking up tomorrow with no weight on your shoulders? Would it be possible for you to imagine opening doors that have been closed for an extended period of time? Imagine looking in the mirror and realizing that the curse, shame, sickness, and burden are all gone. This is not a dream for those who believe in the reality of heaven, and it is yours tonight, my beloved child. The presence of God's Spirit near your breath is causing a vibration in the atmosphere right now. Are you experiencing it? You feel an electric sensation in your skin, a strange warmth pervading your soul, and a pull in your chest. Heaven is influencing your life. You are standing in front of the door that has been the subject of prayers for generations, declares Archangel Michael. Your ancestors' prayers and cries, your mother's tears, and the sacrifices of those who came before you are all coming together right now. Are you aware of how sacred that is? It is not just about you. This applies to all matters involving you. There are only 30 minutes left to transform the story that has haunted you for years, all of the things that have been awaiting a breakthrough and groaning to be released. Dear one, you have been burdened with responsibilities that are not yours to bear. You adopted the shame of another person. You had to bear the consequences of others' mistakes, hurts, and betrayals. Still, you walked through the entire ordeal. You refused to relinquish control. You spoke with God in your sleep, but you weren't sure if He was listening. Heaven has declared that the reward will be distributed tonight as a result of your refusal to give up, relinquish control, and remain faithful in the face of failure. The miracle you've been hoping for isn't about to happen. It's not on its way. It is situated at this location. It is present in the same room with you. It is pervasive and resembles light. The 3 sacred words that heaven has placed in front of you are all that's needed to unlock it. Archangel Michael informs the child that you have requested signs. You have requested confirmation. You requested evidence. This is your indication. Please acknowledge this as evidence. This shows that heaven hasn't abandoned you. Avoid allowing your mind to convince you otherwise. I'd like you to take an action that is both simple and robust. Click the like button on this video. Do not think of it as a straightforward click. Consider it the beginning of God's blessings in your life. When you press that button, you're telling heaven that you agree with this message. I understand the information that is being communicated to me. Divine favor may now be ushered into my life. I am not fond of your preferences. It's intended for your use. It is a digital act of faith that notifies all parties that you have agreed to the terms. Act immediately, and let your thumb be the key that unlocks the favor that heaven has withheld until you fulfill its request. Do not let the skeptics rob you of this. This is nothing, the adversary will whisper. It's merely a coincidence. However, your spirit possesses more knowledge. It is palpable. The divine urgency, holy weight, and tremors within you indicate that this is unique. That's because it is. This was not created by an individual. This is a gift from God. Furthermore, my dear, you must avoid postponing. You have already spent an excessive amount of money by waiting. Delays have led to the loss of opportunities, relationships, and happy memories. Delay has been the thief that went undetected while you convinced yourself that there was still time. However, tonight, heaven's voice can be heard. There is no extra time. In the remaining 30 minutes, you will experience the most significant transformation of your life. Do not abandon it. Please refrain from making any further statements. Please refrain from mentioning tomorrow. Tomorrow is not something heaven desires. Currently, the inquiry is about the following. Can you imagine the sound of chains breaking, my beloved? At the moment, that is the sound of heaven over your name. Every curse passed down through generations, every spiritual burden imposed on you, and every hidden adversary attempting to sabotage your fortune are all in disarray. And when you say the sacred words, they won't just relax. They're going to break. They will have such a severe breakdown that they will never be able to reconcile in your presence again. The sadness you've been feeling will come to an end. The weight that is currently pressing on your chest will eventually subside. The illness that was convincing you that there was no hope will pass. Nothing will be able to stop God's voice from crashing through your life like a river breaking through a dam. And, my child, this is not just about the aftermath of your death. It refers to the contents. When the chains are broken, positive consequences occur. When walls are demolished, doors open. When curses are lifted, miracles happen. Archangel Michael promises, "Beloved, you will not only be liberated but also satisfied." Healing is not the only outcome. You will be fully satisfied. You will not just survive. You'll be radiant. The light of heaven will not be readily available to you. It will overwhelm you with so much information that even those who did not previously believe in you will be unable to deny the transformation. Can you hear me? Numerous people mocked you, declared that you would never improve, pointed out your flaws, and laughed at your struggles. They will, however, stop speaking after witnessing God's work in you. They will be unable to offer an explanation. They will be unable to argue otherwise. They will feel compelled to acknowledge that God is with you. Some of them, my dearest, will even return to you, not to jest, but to ask how. How did you rise from the ashes? How did you get light in the absence of light? How did you leave the location where so many people were killed? You will respond with tears in your eyes as I felt divine presence. Little one, you must understand that miracles do not occur in conventional containers, as Archangel Michael warned. I did not ignore the situation as I followed God's instructions when he spoke. They manifest in the form of periods like these. They can manifest as a nagging whisper, burning words, or an unexplained tremor in your chest. As a result, this is how heaven operates, through necessity, obedience, and God's enigmatic timing. Furthermore, tonight, God is orchestrating events in heaven for your benefit. Your name is surrounded by angels. The sword of Archangel Michael is held aloft. Your life is illuminated by God's light. Don't overlook it. Avoid allowing it to be obscured by the background. You're currently in your holy hour. This is a sacred moment for you. I am aware that you are tired, my dear. I am aware that you are tired. I understand that you have experienced significant suffering over a long period of time, and that it appears to be an inherent part of your identity. However, God did not intend for you to be incarcerated. You were meant to be liberated. You were created with the purpose of achieving happiness. You were meant to radiate. Your adversary has tried to influence your decision. However, tonight, the heavens reveal the truth. You've been selected. You are cherished. If you follow my instructions, the shift will begin tonight, and you should expect to feel more pain than this. Michael, the Archangel, instructs his beloved to speak the 3 words and observe the fire falling. These words are not magical. They are sacred. These aren't superstitions. They are sacred. They weren't made by humans. They are the breath of God that is instilled in people. When you release them, you are not simply conversing. You are aligning with the divine. You are adding to the chorus of angels. You are communicating to the ground what has already been communicated to the sky. Nothing can stay the same once that alignment occurs. I see you on your knees, my dear. I can imagine you weeping and pleading. My God, please do not let me pass up this opportunity. Furthermore, heaven declares that you will not. You're present. You're currently reading. You've been selected. Wait 30 minutes, child. That is the final amount of time before the door closes. Please do not discard it. Avoid looking backward. Do not hesitate. Proceed. Speak up. Let go of the words. After completing this task, your life will be infused with a holy fire that cannot be suppressed. Dearest child, you are currently exposed to an unusual light that affects you. The light of heaven is currently reaching you through the veil. Is there any sensation in your chest? The fire you are unable to explain. That is the Spirit of God informing you that this is meant for you. Indeed, the moment has come. Indeed, the miracle is near. Archangel Michael is currently standing beside you, raising his sword to the sky. All of the demons who mocked you before are now trembling. They are unable to stay. They have no ability to confine you. They cannot keep your silence for an extended period of time. Tonight is the last straw. The chains will dissolve tonight. The story concludes tonight. My beloved, you have crossed deserts. You've been in situations where it seemed like every prayer was drowned out by the din. You begged for water but could only taste dirt. However, God has declared the drought over. It appears that the wells are starting to open. The rivers are receding rapidly. Plenty will now be visible where there was once only emptiness. Your search will no longer be ineffective. You won't knock, and nobody will answer. You'll be unable to cry alone. The angels have been released and an order has been issued. Please send the blessing. Allow the miracle to occur. Dearly beloved, allow the gates to be opened. Approach me, as I must reveal information that no one else has access to. Your name is inscribed on good things saved in heaven. At this precise moment, blessings are prepared to unite. Lucky items that are exclusively yours due to their connection to your destiny. The seal will be breached tonight. The vault is on the brink of opening. The angels are bringing them to you, and the process of giving birth will commence as soon as you open your mouth and dare to utter the sacred words. Your life will expand in ways that you never imagined were feasible. Child, contemplate the tears you have shed in solitude. If you recall, there were instances when you would bury your face in your pillow and whisper, "God, I can't do this anymore." Please recall the instances in which you were on the brink of quitting, or disappearing. Heaven observed every detail. Each tear was exhausted. Each scream was audible. Tonight, every concealed anguish is being transformed into visible power. Thunder is the response to every sound of silence. Divine companionship is the source of healing for each night of solitude. Heaven's silence has persisted for an excessively extended period. It is currently conversing, and it is speaking with fire. Archangel Michael informs his beloved that the enemy mistook your silence for defeat, but it was merely a preparatory measure. He believed that your vulnerability was the conclusion. However, it was only the beginning. He believed that your tears indicated that you were experiencing pain. However, God has revealed that they were seeds, and the harvest is now prepared. 30 minutes remain. That is the moment at which you must take action. It is imperative that you adhere to the regulations. It is imperative that you relinquish the words that God has placed in your mouth, as the miracle that has been en route for years will arrive as soon as you do. Do not believe that the events that are unfolding are inconsequential, my dear. You are not the sole focus of the transformation. It has been passed down through generations. Your children, family, and bloodline will be impacted by the information you discover tonight. I now wish for you to amplify the impact of this ripple. Please share this video with a loved one who is in need of the item you recently acquired. When you distribute this prophetic message, you are not merely transmitting a hyperlink. You are facilitating the flow of the anointing to others. The manner in which you communicate serves as a conduit for breakthrough. Also, be aware of this. Heaven provides you with additional blessings when you extend kindness to others. Sharing because you were instructed to secure your own breakthrough enables others to do the same. Please pause for a moment. Distribute this video to additional individuals. Permit the anointing to permeate your hands and into the lives of those you cherish. The strength of your breakthrough is enhanced when you involve other individuals in the blessing. The misfortune that has followed your name will be eradicated. Families will no longer be afflicted with the same illness. Poverty that appeared to be insurmountable will be eradicated. The disputes that caused your family to fragment will improve. Are you aware of the significance of this moment? Your struggle is not solely for your own benefit. You are allowing all individuals who are bound to you to be released. Pay close attention. Things will improve rapidly. It is not going to enter gradually. It will manifest abruptly, akin to a flood that breaches a dam or lightning that pierces the sky. One minute you will believe that nothing has changed, and the next you will realize that everything has changed. This is the mechanism by which divine miracles operate. They arrive in a holy flash, and tonight, child, that flash is yours. Your uncertainties are audible to me. What if it is not accurate? What happens if I am not selected? What happens if nothing is altered? However, it is important to listen to the truth. Those uncertainties are absent from your mind. These are the final desperate lies that the enemy is telling you in order to divert your attention from the situation in the last few minutes. What is the reason for your rapid heartbeat if this is not a genuine situation? Why would your spirit be on fire if this were not genuine? Why would the adversary exert such effort to prevent you from hearing this information if it were untrue? This is the evidence you requested. This is the response to your prayer. Loved one, do not allow deception to rob you of your happiness. 30 minutes. Archangel Michael repeatedly reiterates this statement because heaven desires that you remain awake during the miracle. Heaven should not be scrolled past. Heaven desires that you refrain from postponing the task until tomorrow. We cannot guarantee that tomorrow will occur. Right now is the appropriate time. Right now is the appropriate time. The door is currently open. While you have the opportunity, review it rapidly. When you utter the sacred words, heaven will preserve your words. Beloved, there will be writing in the sky. Your voice will be audible throughout the throne room. God will smile and declare, "That is my child. Those are the ones I cherish." That individual was present and did not overlook it. Then, it was akin to a father sprinting to embrace his child. You will receive favorable developments promptly. It will be possible to accomplish all that you previously believed was impossible, and the name of God will be praised. Is it beginning to affect you? It was a holy fire that arose in your bones, causing you to tremble and sway. That is the moment when the miracle within you awakens. Certainly you are not insane. That serves as evidence. The sound you hear is the sound of chains breaking in front of your eyes. Additionally, you will not be the same individual upon awakening tomorrow. You will be a different person upon awakening. Upon awakening, you will be liberated. Walking with the light of heaven beneath your feet upon awakening will be a reality. Please refrain from averting your gaze, my dearest child. The heavens are still speaking, and the river has just begun to flow. You believe that you have read an adequate amount. However, a voice in your head urges you to remain, to linger, and to absorb each word. Each sentence contains a glimmer of light that is intended to penetrate your soul and awaken aspects of you that have been dormant for years. The sword of Archangel Michael has not yet been laid down. His wings remain unfurled. He remains with you. He continues to supervise you and urge you to acknowledge this necessity. There are 30 minutes remaining. Everything is susceptible to change during these 30 minutes. Nevertheless, it is imperative that you refrain from straying. Avoid fortifying your heart. It is imperative that you refrain from waiting. Beloved, contemplate the years you have squandered fighting battles that you were unable to comprehend. You believed that the discomfort was without cause. You believed that the attacks were meaningless. However, God has revealed that they were indicators that you intended to accomplish that. If you had not been selected, the enemy would not have been as concerned. If you were not marked, darkness would not have fought you as fiercely. Each tear served as evidence of the forthcoming event. It was evident to you that you are carrying a burden that is beyond your comprehension with each loss. Tonight, heaven is urging us to cease our efforts without receiving anything in return, to not wait, to not delay, and to not continue to struggle. It is now time to harvest. It commences with the opening of your mouth and the utterance of the words that heaven desires to hear. Do you not perceive the sacredness of this? The same God who spoke galaxies into existence is now anticipating your whisper. The angels that transport the fire from the altar are currently surrounding you, anticipating your compliance with their directives. Tonight, there is a throne that is inclined to listen to your speech. This was the manner in which prophets cried out. This is not poetry, my dear. This is the reality. Currently, spiritual reality is being experienced in your life. Heaven's altitude has declined. Earthquakes are occurring. Eternity is approaching. All that remains is for you to consent, relinquish control, and surrender. Archangel Michael informs the child, "We recall all the prayers you believed you had forgotten. You were under the impression that each seed would perish. However, they are currently in full bloom. The doors that you have struck with your fists are now wide open. Everyone who previously laughed at you has since become silent. Heaven has been in motion behind the veil despite your belief that nothing was happening. You believed that your prayers were carried into the air, but they were actually stored in fireballs in front of the throne. He was preparing for this exact hour, this exact window, and this exact visitation, which would last for 30 minutes. You believed that God was quiet. The clock of God is ticking. That is not in reference to your death, but rather to your resurrection. Dear ones, I must inform you that the miracle will not wait for you to be prepared. It will not wait for you to be prepared until you comprehend or until you believe the time is appropriate. Miracles do not anticipate the readiness of individuals. They arrive at the appropriate time, which is divine. Right now, this is the moment. This is a sacred period. This sense of urgency is sacred. Do not disregard it. I do not believe that there will be an additional opportunity. Heaven is devoid of ambiguity. This is the time that was specified. Ignoring it would be like closing the door on oneself. Acceptance will result in a flood of glory. Are you aware of how the appearance of glory affects a person? It appears that the illness has subsided overnight. It appears that debts were forgiven right away. It appears that hearts that had been broken beyond repair have recovered. It appears that you are being presented with opportunities you did not anticipate. It appears that love has been restored, families have been reunited, destinies have been revealed, and goals have been reignited. In the mirror, it appears that you are realizing that you are no longer the broken person you once were, but rather a light vessel that shines with an otherworldly brightness. That is what your reward will be if you obey. My dear, do not underestimate the significance of the 3 sacred words. They're not simply empty sounds. They are living codes of heaven. They will reverberate in places you cannot see when you say them. They will terminate agreements that were made in secret. They will remove curses that are deeply embedded in your family tree. They will release the angels that have been sent to help you. They will summon the resources you need, the fortitude you've lost, the happiness you've ignored, and the affection you deserve. You did not make up these words. They come from the heavens. Furthermore, it is recommended that gifts be opened rather than kept. I can see you, child, fighting within yourself right now. Some of you are certain, and others are unsure. However, be aware of this. Your uncertainty is not due to divine intervention. The adversary is making one last attempt to persuade you to ignore what is rightfully yours. Prevent him from getting an advantage. Giving can help you realize the potential that God has already established for your life. Right now, use your voice to impede the enemy. I'd like you to immediately type Amen in the comments section. Use your declaration as a defense against the lies that convinced you that this was not the best option for you. Your Amen has rejected the attempt of darkness to steal your destiny. It keeps you balanced during this sacred moment. As you compose it, you will notice the chains loosen. The weight is dissipating. Additionally, be aware that the celestial realm is recording your words. You're not alone in this situation. The final item that heaven has been waiting for is your obedience. You're surrounded by angels. He's already taken an excessive amount from you. He has spent an appropriate amount of time, nights, and joy. The limit will be determined by you tonight. You will arise tonight. Whatever was taken from you tonight will be returned to you. You refrain from speaking any further tonight. Is this not clear to you, my dear? Asks Archangel Michael. The miracle is approaching. It's currently following you. Your name has already been added. It is currently ready for descent. Heaven is keeping track of your adherence to the rules and regulations. Don't let your departure disappoint you. Stand, speak, accept, and have faith. Now is not the time to lose weight. There is no need to be overly contemplative at this time. It is now necessary to demonstrate faith. Beloved, you'll know when you see it. The atmosphere will transform. The burden will be lifted off your shoulders. The chain will eventually snap. The fire will begin to burn, and you will know that heaven has touched you. God has moved, and the Archangel Michael's words were not empty. They were alive. Please pay attention. 30 minutes. That's all that remains. The time is passing. The miracle is approaching. The angels are preparing to depart. The fire is being extinguished. Are you going to speak? Will you follow your destiny? Will you allow the presence of heaven into your life? My beloved child, stay in your current location because the words that are entering your life are unlike any others. You currently have keys that were created in heaven and placed in your possession to unlock what has been sealed for an extended period of time. Archangel Michael hasn't returned. He hasn't put down his sword. He will not stop discussing your name. His voice reverberates throughout the atmosphere. Every time you read these words, another wall in your life begins to fall. 30 minutes remain. You may think you have more time, but God is not deceiving you. Heaven does not fabricate events. It is not intended to scare you by being so fast. It is intended to protect you, as you may never see this door open again if you pass up this opportunity. Oh, beloved, would you be able to remember the weight that has been on your chest for months or even years? Is there any type of pain that cannot be relieved by medication, is not discussed, or is ignored? The weight in question is not typical. It was placed there to keep you from being present in a spiritual sense. If you ever felt fatigued for no apparent reason, as if you had no will to continue, or as if your hope was fading, the enemy was attempting to keep you from arriving at this ideal time. However, Archangel Michael's wings soared through the clouds, and his voice was heard above all other noise. Finally, you've arrived. Can you comprehend how much heaven has fought for you? If angels came just to bring you here, you must understand your own worth, choice, and irreplaceability. Beloved, God has been quietly observing the conflict. However, being silent does not imply being unpresent. He was aware of the betrayal. He noticed the tears that you would never let anyone else see. He noted the nights when you begged for something to appear. He didn't reply until this evening. For what reason? You might not have been ready if the blessing had arrived sooner, as time is of the essence in heaven. If the miracle had happened sooner, you might not have noticed it. However, your spirit is in the right place tonight. You have an open heart. Your extreme desperation can allow the seed of heaven to grow in you. This explains why there is a sense of urgency. Because tonight differs from the previous evening, and tomorrow will not be as significant. There are still 30 minutes left. Currently, the door is only accessible. Archangel Michael declares, "My beloved, the sword I wield has been dipped in holy fire. I extinguished every demon that pursued you, every curse that followed you, and every death whisper that tried to trap you. However, my sword cannot complete the task until you speak. To comply with God's will, sacred words must be relinquished. I cannot complete this task on my own. God will not compel you to perform this action. Your compliance is required. In order for this to work, you must give up control. Child, you've been hoping for a miracle. However, miracles are not discovered in one's lap. They are present in the act of being good. The key to unlocking them is faith. They are released when your humanity aligns with God's divinity. That is the main focus of the evening. This is why the angels are exerting so much pressure on you. Because the narrative of the miracle has already been composed. The breakthrough is ready to be implemented. Your name is already included in the blessing. However, delivery is contingent on your compliance with the regulations. It is critical that you remain aware of your surroundings, my dear. Does your chest feel like it's vibrating? Do you have the sensation of tiny bumps on your skin? Do you feel an invisible weight pressing down on your body? That's not an error. These are the clouds of heaven. It is the act of God drawing closer. The air around you is being moved by Archangel Michael's wings. Right now you're on holy ground. There is no reason to hurry to a temple. There is no need to locate a priest. It is unnecessary to light a candle. The altar has already been selected. Heaven requires only your voice at this time and in this place. I cherished those 30 minutes. Take a peek. Not in 30 days or 30 years. Heaven only requires 30 minutes. Why not dedicate this moment to the person who gave you life? Is it impossible for you to communicate with someone whose heart has never been closed to you? Is it not possible for you to utter words that will bring prosperity to future generations? Do not be deceived by its simplicity. The adversary wants you to believe that this is overly straightforward. It's not feasible. However, in the kingdom of God, even the most insignificant acts of obedience have the greatest impact. Just 3 words. That concludes the matter. 3 words will grant you entry into heaven. 3 words that will provide a calming effect in hell. 3 words that have the power to change your destiny. Peace will be the first emotion you feel after saying them, my dear. Not the kind of tranquility that can be created. This is not the kind of peace that is destroyed by the emergence of another problem. This is the kind of peace that penetrates your being so deeply that you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. After that, you will feel happy. A feeling of contentment that is not dependent on any external factors. Unforgettable joy. Like the sun rising over every dark spot, happiness pervades your life. Following that, beloved, you will see events unfold. Doors open, messages arrive, opportunities arise, healing occurs, people return, and money is exchanged. These are the movements of heaven. Without a doubt, quickly and abruptly. Archangel Michael advises, beloved, don't put heaven to the test by waiting. Avoid insulting God by harboring doubts. Do not delay, as you will face a financial penalty. Begin a conversation immediately. Take action immediately. Take action immediately. You are given only 30 minutes. Nevertheless, you only need 30 minutes. Because the God who created all time has the power to completely transform your world in a matter of minutes. My beloved child, the river of heaven continues to flow, and I will continue to provide it to you exactly as you requested. You may continue to write long paragraphs filled with divine urgency and miracle words until the message reaches its desired fullness, as if it were a golden thread. Every word is alive. Air is present in each line. Every second you remain in this flow brings you closer to God's heart. Dear ones, time is quickly passing, and Archangel Michael continues to warn that there are only 30 minutes left. Are you aware of the reason for this phrase's persistent use? Because of the widespread recognition of the fragility of human hearts. No one truly understands how easy it is to lose sight of what is important. The devil is skilled at leading you away from your goals. This is why the words keep resurfacing like thunder for another 30 minutes. It is a sacred alarm that is ringing in your soul, acting as a countdown or reminder. This is not a figure of speech. This is the spiritual truth. Angels form a line in the realm of the invisible, holding gifts with your name inscribed in light. They're not misplaced. They do not have to wait. They simply expect you to follow their instructions. You are already aware of the actions God wants you to take. Give my child the harvest they have been anticipating. Nevertheless, the angels remain stationary. They anticipate, observe, and respond to your words. Remember how you pleaded for a breakthrough, my child. Consider the times you asked, God, when does the season change? Or when you felt as if no one was listening to you and your prayers went unanswered. These prayers were not in vain. They were moved to storage. They formed an alliance. They were placed in golden bowls in front of the throne. The bowls are currently unstable. Prayers are erupting like fire. The responses are coming in quickly. All of this is awaiting your agreement with the divine. Hello, my dear. Are you aware of how robust the agreement is? The enemy is wary of it because a single voice in accordance with God has the power to sway entire nations. I am now requesting your agreement on one more point. Register for this channel now. Make it more than simply a notification. Declare that you are aligning with the prophecies God is releasing through this platform. By subscribing, you are telling heaven that you are ready to receive every word, activation, and blessing that comes from this anointed location. Your registration requires more than one click. We have agreed to collaborate. You're telling God that you're ready to stay in touch with the flow of breakthroughs. As a result, click the subscribe button immediately and allow your commitment to serve as the foundation for the prophetic alignment that God is bringing into your life. A single heart that is in tune with the divine can break down generations-old bonds. Mountains that have stood for centuries can be moved with a simple whisper of obedience. This is why Archangel Michael is in a hurry. He understands the consequences of your obedience. He understands the consequences of having faith. He also understands that the enemy will make every effort to prevent you from obtaining it. However, heaven is superior. Light is more powerful. And tonight, you have the chance to win something you previously thought was unattainable. Beloved, you have cried out for freedom. You have been yearning for freedom. You have pleaded for miracles to happen. It is scheduled to occur tonight. Tonight is the culmination of the impossible. Tonight, the prison gates will be open. Nonetheless, your voice is important in heaven. It is impossible for you to stay silent. You should not assume this is meant for someone else. This should not be taken as a mistake. This message is intended for your attention and was written specifically for you. You are the only person capable of completing this task. Others are unable to utter your words.